Ladies, you are unstoppable. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Faith, Focus, and Finish Strong. I'm so excited for you guys all to be here in the mix. My name is Marcia for you all who don't know, and I'm the host tonight. And I just want to thank you for tuning in. Tonight we're talking about something so exciting. Loving yourself from within first. Journey to self-love. How are you ladies feeling tonight? Just put thumbs up because I muted y'all. Yes. I love seeing all y'all smiling faces. So tonight we have a special guest. I'm so excited to introduce her. Her name is Raven. So who is Raven? Raven is a mother, wife, she's a mother. She's a wife and a mother of two beautiful girls. She's a counselor, a life coach, a speaker, an instructor, an ordained prophet. I mean, come on, guys. Her level of expertise and passion make her a soul physician. She possessed the ability to transform the soul into a healthy, healed, and whole state. Raven is known for her passion for healing, her innate ability to transform perspectives, and her drive to equip people with skills and tools to out their full potential. She's a founder of a faith-based organization and community, the Wholeness Pursuit.
So every week on Thursday nights, she has a different theme.
All right, 1 second. Let me meet somebody who's on and I can hear them talking. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So Raven is a founder of the faith-based organization and community, the Wholeness Pursuit, which exists to promote healing within the hearts, souls, and minds of women across the world, and to equip women with the greater knowledge of purpose. The Wholeness Pursuit movement encourages women to build the foundation of their identities on Christ and to live out the fullness of their God-given mandates on their lives. Woo! Wow! Raven, welcome to Focus and Finish Strong. We are so excited to have you.
Well, thank you for the warm welcome. It's an honor to be with you all tonight. I'm super excited to be able to share, to interact, to dialogue with each of you. I'm a very interactive speaker, so I'm going to ask you questions throughout. I'm going to pull on you to be transparent and vulnerable. Even if it's in the chat, I'm going to ask you to participate tonight so that we can have a lot of fun. And then we can also journey through some healing on this Zoom tonight. So I'm excited. I hope that you all are. Real quick, I just want to ask you, I know that our topic is self-love, okay? Anybody dealing with any type of struggle when it comes to self-love, your self-image, insecurities, anything like that. If that's you, I want you to put a thumbs up in the chat. If you're a person that's having difficulties with embracing your uniqueness, if you're a person that's having difficulties embracing just your process, who you are, who God has made you to be, if you have boundary issues, if you have insecurities, any of those things, I want you to be transparent even in this moment and just put a thumbs up in the comments. You can put me. Tracy said me. I love that. If that's you, don't be afraid. This is a place for us to stretch ourselves in our growth. And I'm sure if you're on tonight, there is somewhere within you that you're like, I need to work on that. So whatever that is for you, put that thumbs up for me so I can know who we're dealing with tonight. All right, I see a couple thumbs up. Keita, Margaret, Frida. Is that how you say your name, I think?
Yeah, Frida.
Yeah, love that. Vivian.
That wasn't for not loving myself, because I love some me, but that was when Marcy said it earlier.
Okay, that's okay. I'm glad. All right, Joan says she's working on it. Okay, good. So we know that there are some ladies on here that are dealing with some issues, and that's okay. And I know some ladies may be dealing with some inner struggles and may not feel confident to speak up, and that's perfectly fine as well. But I want you to feel safe to be transparent tonight amongst the women who are all dealing with the same issues and trying to progress forward in their healing. So let's go ahead and get started.
Great. So, Raven, what does self-love look like?
All right. So self-love can look like so many different things to so many people. And so basically it's having regard for yourself. So being able to say, this is good for me, this is not good for me. This is positive for me, this is not positive for me. And it's also intentionally investing in your person. So that's like your physical person, like that's your physical body. That's also your soul. That's your emotional. Perspective. That's your mental perspective. It's mental health. It's emotional health. It's investing in who you are. Personal development. If you are a person that working towards some type of career field, whatever that looks like, are you intentionally investing in yourself? And that's a part of self-love. So we have to show up for ourselves. And a lot of times as women, we want to show up for other people. We can be there for our friends. We can be the strong friend. You know, call me if you got an issue. You know, call me if you're dealing with something specific. Or you can show up at church. You can show up at work. You can put on a happy face for people. But behind the scenes, are you showing up for yourself? Are you doing what's necessary to invest in your emotional health, in your mental health, in your physical health? Are you eating good foods? You know, are you stuffing yourself with foods that are not healthy? You know, knowing the knowledge that we have on the internet now, we know that certain things are not good for us, and still we still do it, whether that's food, whether that's decisions, whether that's relationships. And that doesn't have to be romantic relationships. Sometimes we get into relationship with friends that are not good for us. We get into relationship dynamics with business partners that are not good for us. And so the decisions that you're making for yourself is a reflection of self-love, how you feel about yourself, what you think about yourself, different things of that nature. And then as well, are you setting boundaries for yourself? Y'all, I want you to put boundaries in the chat. I am big on boundaries. And one thing as women that we sometimes do not do is we do not set boundaries. And boundaries is not just, okay, you can't call me past 10 p.m. Or boundaries is not just, you can't come over here without, calling my phone to make sure I'm at home or something like that. Sometimes we have to put boundaries around how people treat us, okay? If I tell you no, that means don't come back and ask me to give you a yes. You have to be able to set boundaries for yourself, for your emotional health, for your mental health, and for your soul prosperity. And so we have to be honest about what are the boundaries we need in order to be successful in our everyday life. If you need to take a self-care day and someone asks you, can they come over and lay on your couch and have a vent session? No, today is my self-care day. There's a boundary I've put in place to make sure that I take care of myself today. And so I want to encourage you not to be afraid to put boundaries, whether that's with friends, romantic relationships, parents, family members, whatever, churches, business, at your job, whatever that looks like. You have to be able to set boundaries that are healthy and that help you to thrive, okay? And so it's basically looking at your life and saying what works for me and what does not work for me. And I'm going to set these boundaries. I'm going to let my no be my no and my yes be my yes. And I'm not going to allow people to wiggle their way in and make me feel bad about the boundaries that I've put in place for my life, okay? Is anyone having any struggles with boundaries? If you're having an issue with boundaries, put that in the chat for me. I just want to see what issues we're having with boundaries. And sometimes people have just an issue with setting boundaries in general, even just saying, you know what, I'm putting my phone on do not disturb today because I'm taking care of my spiritual growth. Maybe it is, you want to sit in the presence of the Lord for a couple hours undisturbed. Don't feel the need to pick up your phone and text someone back just because they're texting you. There's a boundary that has to be in place there. This is my time to grow and to spend time with the Lord. This is an hour I've set aside. So your emergency is not my emergency. And so boundaries help you.
Right. Did we lose her? Raven? Can you guys hear me? But you can't hear her,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Did we lose you?
I think it kicked me out.
He's not winning tonight. Well, you were talking about setting boundaries.
You're saying some great stuff. That's why.
You can't have this. We got this.
All right. Okay. So yes. So about boundaries is what we were talking about. And so the chat that you just put in here, I don't see it anymore. So it may be gone. If you had anything that you put in the chat, just repost it for me so I can relook at that. But if you're dealing with something that comes that deals with boundaries, because I wanted to make sure that I kind of answered some questions there, or just kind of touch base on anything that you posted. So let's kind of revisit that. All right. So so you have to make sure that you're setting boundaries for yourself. That's super important. And I see some comments here. It says, working on being okay with taking time for myself and not feeling bad. Okay. And then what happens if it's hard for you to put up boundaries? Okay. So when it's hard for you to put up boundaries and you're worried about other people, that's a issue that you have to come to grips with, that you have to resolve that I'm important. My health is important. My sanity is important. You know, that's important to me. So you have to make sure that you are okay with being offensive to people, because number one, offense is not necessarily what you do, it's how people respond to what you do. So if I have offense in my heart, that's a me issue. That's not necessarily a you issue. So you can't worry about how people are going to perceive you. You can't worry about being superwoman to everybody, your friends, your family, coworkers. You can't try and be superhero to everyone and then not show up for yourself. You're never going to be able to show up at your best for anyone if you don't show up for yourself first. So that's so very important. And so anytime you want to be a help to anyone, anytime you want to be there for anyone, anytime you just want to be able to, you know, be a good friend, a good spouse, a good coworker, whatever, anytime you just want to be at your best, you have to be at your best behind the scenes. You can't show up with this cape on and think that when you take that cape off, you're not going to deal with, you know, all the extra pressures of carrying other people's problems and the extra pressures of, you know, the burdens that come with hearing what other people are dealing with and the emotional toils that they are going through. So we have to be intentional about taking care of ourselves. And when we can take care of ourselves, that displays that we do love ourselves. Okay. That displays self-love. Okay. So let me just look at some of these comments really quick. Yes, I need to work on setting boundaries. I'm feeling bad. I need to hear this. Okay, good. Timely message. Good. So that's one way. All right. And so, like I said, showing up for yourself, but also self-love is speaking up when you need help. Okay. Speaking up when you need help, when you need support, when you're down in the dumps, when you need accountability, when you need someone to challenge you, when you need someone to pull you out of a dark place, when you need some encouragement, when you need someone to give you just a hug of just to love on you, when you need some affirmation because you're not feeling as secure, you need to be able to speak up for yourself. And that is also displaying self-love. So that's another way that self-love can be displayed. When I am in a dark place, I'm not going to stay in this dark place. I'm going to reach out to my sisters. I'm going to reach out to my friends. I'm going to reach out to my accountability, and I'm going to ask them to encourage me. I'm going to ask them to pull me up. I'm going to ask them to affirm me in these areas that I'm feeling weak in this moment. And when you can do that, and you're not as worried about what people are going to think. What are people going to say? What are they going to, I have to be strong at every moment. It's okay to be weak. And being okay with your weakness also displays self-love, because the Bible tells us that in our weakness, the Lord's strength is made perfect. So his strength cannot be perfected unless we are weak. And we have to be okay with being weak. All right. And so also we want to make sure that we're embracing every part of ourselves. That displays self-love as well. Our uniqueness, our weaknesses. If we look different than our sister, whatever our quirkiness is, whatever our strengths are, whatever that is, we are embracing every single part of ourselves. There's always parts of ourselves that we can work on. There's also always parts of ourselves that we can grow in, but are we embracing even the messy, ugly parts of us and not rejecting those parts of us? Every part of us is worth loving, and we have to be okay with being loved in every single part of ourselves. And so one scripture I want to leave with you for that question is Psalms 139:14. And it says, I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. So we are the workmanship of God. His works and how he's created us is marvelous. We are fearfully and wonderfully made, and we have to be okay with how we've been created.
Wow.
So that's my answer to that.
Wow. Thank you for that answer. I hope all of you ladies took note of that. You got y'all paper and pen tonight? I hope y'all got y'all paper and pen tonight. Someone said that they need you on their dresser so that you can remind them every morning. That was so.
Well, take a note. Put a note up there.
Yes, sticky notes. And I think you brought up some really key points, and that's saying no and setting healthy boundaries, which I feel we all at some point struggle with. And then being able to ask for help, because I know a lot of us struggle with that, asking people for help. We don't want to feel like we are burdening on other people, or sometimes we're asking the wrong people, so that's why we're afraid to ask people for help. So,
Absolutely.
what are some concrete steps to take to begin the journey?
Some concrete things. First and foremost, we have to come out of denial. Okay, so we have to come out of denial with the fact that, you know what, I have insecurities. I'm not perfect. I have this weakness. And so you have to come out of denial of thinking that you are, those flaws and different things like that need to be hidden. They don't need to be hidden. You know, your flaws don't need to be hidden. They need to be processed with trusted sources. And so we have to be okay with opening ourselves up, being transparent, being vulnerable, not with everybody, but with those that we trust. You know, that's very important. We want to make sure that anytime we're opening ourselves up to process when it comes to revealing parts of ourselves, that we're doing that with trusted sources. But we have to come out of denial. I don't love myself. I am very harmful to myself. The way that I allow people to run over me is harmful. The way that I allow people to take advantage of me is harmful. The way that I allow people to talk to me is harmful. You know, the way that I, allow these different things in my cycles in my life is harmful. These are different things that we have to come out of denial with and recognize where we have denial. Okay, so that's first. And then another way, or a concrete way, or a concrete step to this journey is to unplug when necessary. And so what I mean by that is unplug from social media, unplug from people that bring you down, unplug for situations that cause you to feel anxiety or pressures that are unhealthy. We have to unplug. If you have a friend that calls you and all she does is talk about herself 24 hours a day, it's okay to unplug, because sometimes we need someone to talk to. And so if they're being selfish enough to never ask you, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Are you okay? Maybe that's not a healthy relationship, and I need to unplug from that, because that's not what I need right now. I don't need someone depleting me. I need someone filling me up. I need someone encouraging me at this moment. And so it's okay to unplug. Sometimes social media and different pressures from different atmospheres can be a lot for us. It can be overwhelming. It can really harm us mentally. And so if it's something that's bringing harm to you, if it's too much pressure to see how people's lives seem perfect on social media, which they never are, if that becomes something from you, it's okay to unplug. Take your days, take your weeks, take whatever you need to unplug, okay? And then another way is to speak your truth, okay? State your truth. Everyone, any situation you go through, if it's with people or without people, there's always a way that you viewed it. There's always your perspective when it comes to the situation, and that's okay. There's no right or wrong when it comes to your truth necessarily, okay? So it's okay to speak your truth. This is what happened to me. This is how it affected me. This is what bothered me. This is what upset me. This is, whatever. Speak your truth. And when you speak your truth, you're standing up for yourself. You're not allowing life to bully you. You're not allowing people to bully you. You're not allowing situations to bully you. You're speaking up for your truth and for yourself. And that's something you have to do when it comes to self-love, okay? And then write out a self-care plan. We got to be better with this. We don't walk around just depleted. We don't have anything else to give to anybody else, yet we continue to try to show up for everybody else. No, we need to write out intentional self-care plans. And on your calendar, if all you want to do is watch TV for an hour and your friend wants to go shopping, you tell them, I'm busy. I have something to do. You do. You're taking care of yourself, sitting on your couch watching TV for an hour. If that's self-care for you, that's self-care for you, okay? If you need time away from your children a little bit to go shopping or something and take care of you and get your nails done, schedule that time in. I know that as mothers, we can be there for our children. We want to make sure that we show up for them. We want to be at our best for them. But sometimes it can be depleting when we don't get time away for ourselves. It's okay to take that 30-minute drive if you need to. It's okay to go get your nails done. Don't feel bad about self-care and taking care of you, all right? And then also a scheduled time alone to process. I am big about processing through your thoughts. I am huge about processing through your emotions and knowing where they come from and knowing why you feel the way that you feel, knowing what upsets you, knowing what agitates you, what encourages you, what bothers you, what triggers you. I'm very big on that. So it's important to take time away in your day to process through, how do I feel? Why do I feel that way? Why does that upset me? And having honest moments with yourself. Why is that offensive? Why did I feel rejected in that moment? What caused me to feel rejected? Why did that make me happy? Did that really bring me joy? So really questioning your emotions and questioning, why do I keep thinking about this same thing over and over again? This thought keeps coming back to my mind. Why did that trigger me? Why am I overwhelmed by that? So really asking yourself these questions and being alone to process really helps us to have an understanding of what our emotions are. It helps us to understand what our triggers are. It helps us understand how emotionally or mentally healthy we really are or not. So it's important that you take time alone, away from people. If that's just jumping in the shower, in the tub, just sit in the bathroom for 15 minutes, away from it, people, to just have that moment. Do that.
Whew, that was great. So this is what I want. Before we move on to the next question, I want everybody on the call to go ahead and look at their calendar and pick a day within the next week to take a moment for yourself, to do something just for you. No spouse, no friend, no kids, no work, no nothing. I want you to write it down right now. Pick a day. Even just like she said, taking a bath, some candles, some nice music. Pick a day right now and write it down.
Absolutely.
Check. I'm gonna be looking through y'all windows too. So
tell me this really quickly. Is this resonating with anyone? Do you feel as if this is being helpful? Do you see within yourself areas in which you can grow or challenge yourself to practice self-love a little bit more? So put that in the comments for me. If something stood out to you specifically for your own life that I think within those last two questions, tell me. I want to read your comments. I love interaction. So just put that in the comments for me so I can read those.
Okay, so while they're picking their day, we can move on to the next question. So tell me, how do we let go of things that aren't serving us anymore?
So let me see here. There's so many ways that you could do that. And so the biggest thing you have to do is you have to be honest with yourself. This is serving me no purpose, okay? We have to have honest moments, hard truths with ourselves. And sometimes it can be so hard to have hard truths with yourself because you don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to hurt their feelings. What are they going to say? How is this going to make me look? I can't do that. That would mean that I'm not loyal. Or sometimes we have these unhealthy loyalties to family members or friends or whatever that just don't serve us anymore. So we have to have some hard truths with ourselves. We have to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I really need to let that go. You know what? I've known for years now that is something I should not continue to involve myself in. So you have to have these hard truth moments, and they're going to hurt. They are going to hurt. Sometimes those hard truths, when you get those honest moments, you're like, you know what? And sometimes when you do that, you look at yourself and you start saying, why did I allow this to go on so long? Why did I allow myself to be treated this way? And so I don't want you to feel bad about the hard truths because we're all growing, we're all evolving. And so what you want to do is pat yourself in the back for even having the hard truth moment with yourself. That's a step forward, okay? To have that hard truth is a step forward. We're not always willing to have those hard truths. Uh-oh. Can you hear me? See me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. See, the devil wants this internet to be coming. It ain't gonna work.
No.
So we do have to continue to have those hard truths with ourselves, whether it hurts, whether it's overwhelming, whether we cry, whether we get angry, whether we look at ourselves differently or other people differently. Have the hard truths, okay? And so when you realize that these things are not serving me anymore, these are not helpful for me, this is not healthy for me, this is not something that I should continue forward in. Make a list. If you're having hard truths and you're in a makeover moment with your life and you're just trying to do some maintenance and some upkeep, make a list, all right? And when you make that list, put that in front of you daily, okay? That's why I said those sticky notes are really good because you need to be able to have a point of reference. You can write it on mirrors, okay? You can put it on your dresser. You can put it on your wall, what you're going to let go of to hold yourself accountable. But you also want to make sure you allow other people in to hold you accountable as well, okay? So this is not a journey that we take by ourselves. This is a journey that we allow community into. And so we have to be intentional about allowing other people also into our process. So this doesn't serve me anymore. I need to let go of these things. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not going to happen overnight, okay? It's not something that's going to happen in an instant, all right? Depending on how long it's been in your life and how long you've allowed it there, it's going to take some time to really undig and to move forward and to really let go. So once you have those hard truths, allow people into that process, write them down. If you need to, check them off the list. I'm letting that go. But also allow God into this moment, okay? Because it's very hard for us to sometimes let go of habits, let go of people, let go of situations that don't necessarily serve us. And so we need a little bit of encouragement. And when we allow the Lord into this, he gives us grace to be able to let go. Sometimes we can't do it on our own. Sometimes it's something that we enjoy or something. It may be a person that you really had, great memories with. Maybe it was a friendship that you had great memories with. Maybe it's a habit or whatever it could be. You have to just be intentional about allowing the Lord into that process to help you, to give you grace to let go. All right. So it's grace to let go. I need the grace to let go of what is not serving me. Okay. I need the grace to let go of what is not serving me. If I can't do it on my own, if I can't do it in my own strength, there is grace to aid me in my ability to let this thing go and to move forward. All right.
Ooh, I need the grace to let go what is not serving anymore. Say it loud, ladies. That was amazing. So, Raven, why does self-care matter?
Self-care is very important. So when we think about self-care, it's just important that we maintain a healthy relationship with ourselves. And so when we can have a healthy relationship and a healthy dynamic with ourselves, and what that looks like is making sure that what's harmful, we let go of. We have to know what's harmful. We have to know what's harming us, what's not healthy for us. And so when we can treat ourselves well, we can treat other people well, right? If I'm extremely critical of myself and every little thing that I get wrong, I notice and I just pick myself apart, I'm going to do that with other people. It's just an innate, a response that I have because this is how I view myself. If you are a person that deals heavily with rejection, you're going to see through the lenses of rejection. And so we have to make sure that we're kind to ourselves, that we are gentle with ourselves, that we are allowing ourselves time to grow, develop, evolve, that we are giving ourselves the space to get things right, to get things wrong. We have to make sure that we are being, like I said, kind to us. Okay. So we have to make sure that we're just being kind to ourselves. So maintaining a healthy relationship with yourself is very important. That's why self-care matters, to recharge and to rest. Okay. Rest is biblical. Rest is biblical. Okay. So we have to give ourselves time to recharge and to rest. All right. And self-care does that. Doing something that gives you time to just, let go of thoughts and the mental pressures of life and allows you just to chill, going to a spa if that's something you like to do, go and get a pedicure or manicure if that's something you like to do. Sometimes people just literally like to just sit and watch TV. If that's something you like to do and that gives you a release of just the pressures of life and everything that's holding you down, then you do that. So it's a time to recharge and to rest. If you just like to sit outside, I love sitting outside in the summertime, just sitting on like a porch or a back patio. I love it. It just gives me life. So if that's something you like to do, recharge and rest that way, okay? And then self-care matters as well because it helps you to avoid burnout. Burnout is a real thing. And so we have to take care of ourselves so that we do not burn out. We can go, meet this need, do that, go here, go there, show up for this person, show up for that person, kids, husbands, friends, work, business, all these different things. We're there, and we have our hands in so much that we burn out. So we have to be intentional about not burning out, okay? And that's what self-care helps us do. It helps us not to burn out. And it helps us to also recognize if we're at that point. And so when we have time to process through life, we get those moments, we can realize, you know what? I am just tired. I am just mentally drained. I am just exhausted. But when you're going, you can mask what's really behind the heart. You can mask that exhaustion. You can mask what's really going on internally. So we have to slow down, take care of ourselves so that we're able to know and be aware of if burnout is present or near. All right. And then self-care also helps you to be self-aware. We have to be more self-aware. I did a whole teaching on self-awareness, and it's very powerful. Right now I can only give you so much, but self-awareness is so powerful. It helps you to know how you're showing up in life in general. What does my emotional health look like? What does my mental health look like? How do people perceive me? How do I respond when offended? How do I respond if I feel rejected? Well, how do I respond when I want to quit? What makes me want to quit? What makes me overwhelmed? Just being able to truly know how self-aware you are is important, and self-care does that. I did a study, and I did some research, and 95% of people that thought that they were actually self-aware, only about 10 to 15% actually were. So 95% of people will say, I'm self-aware. I know what goes on with me and different things like that. But honestly, only 10 to 15% of people are actually self-aware. We have to have a better relationship with ourselves. And a lot of times we don't even realize how we're responding to people. We don't realize how we're responding to situations. We don't realize how we're responding to life. We think we know, but we don't necessarily really know how we're responding. So self-care helps with self-awareness. And then as well, it sets aside time for you to heal, forgive, restore yourself, and just deal with any emotional baggage that you have, and just any issues that you're going on with you internally. So it's very important for you to take care of yourself and to be intentional about self-care, because if self-care is hard for you, then there's probably a self-love issue. So that's my response for that one.
Oh, wow. That was amazing.
Thank
I
you.
have a question, and then we're going to move. I mean, of course, I've been asking questions these whole time, questions that we didn't discuss, just because something just came into my spirit. And then we're going to move into question and answer, a Q&A for everyone on the call. But can you, and I know some women on this call probably have the same question or thought about this same question. And so how do you love yourself when you're not per se happy with your outer appearance? So maybe you don't like the way you look, or like your size. Maybe you think you're too thin or too big, or maybe you don't something about you got small eyes or big nose or small, whatever it is. Like for me, I hated my freckles. Growing up, I hated my freckles, and it took me a while to truly embrace my freckles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So how do you do the physical part of self-love?
So you just have to really be intentional about affirming yourself. And so affirmations are really big. And so if no one else is going to affirm you, you have to be intentional about affirming yourself. And so when those negative thoughts come into your mind of, I hate this part of myself, I dislike this part of myself, we can be very critical of ourselves. We have to replace those types of that type of language with positive language. And so over time, as you continue to speak positive things over yourself, as you continue to speak good of yourself, as you continue to speak highly of yourself, your words matter. You shape your world, you shape your perspective. And so the easiest way to go about that, or to start that journey, is to think positive of yourself, but also affirm yourself in a positive light. So if it's something like, I don't like my nose, I hate that part of myself, start saying, I love my nose. It's beautiful. I'm beautiful. Every part of me is beautiful. How God created me is beautiful. I love this part of myself. This is a good part of myself. All those different things. So you have to be intentional about affirming yourself, even when you don't necessarily feel it in that moment. You may think differently, but as you continue to affirm yourself and you continue to speak positive words over yourself, because the Bible tells us that life and death is in the power of the tongue. So whatever we speak over ourselves, we're going to create our world. So we have to be intentional about speaking positive. And so that will help you with your physical image as well. There's always things that we can probably maneuver. Maybe you want to lose a little weight. Maybe, those are different things. That's a challenge that you put for yourself, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to dislike who you are right now. You can still love who you are right now and move forward in goals that you have set for yourself physically.
That is so amazing. So basically just affirm for me, one thing that truly helped me to truly love myself is understanding what God says about me and finding my identity in Christ and not in others. And that truly helped me love who I am because, you know, scripture says like God made you, he called you before you were even, you know, made from your mother's womb. And you are wonderfully and fearfully made. And God created you for you, and you're unique. And so I started looking at myself like, it's nothing wrong with my freckles. I mean, they're unique. They are what make me me. So when people say, what are those dots on your face? Beauty marks. Thank you. I love them.
There you go. There you go.
And so it's truly understanding who God, understanding that God created you and finding your identity in Christ and not looking to Instagram and Facebook, because if we're honest with ourselves, guys, you don't know what photo editing program those individuals use and what plastic surgeon those individuals see. So, you know, don't compare yourself to others. Be grateful for who you are because God made you the way he made you for a reason.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so, guys, let's open it up for questions. I do have questions that someone texted me, so we can start there. She said, why when I love from within first, I feel selfish?
When you love from within first. So, so if you're saying like you put yourself first, is that what she's saying?
Yes.
Hopefully, okay. So when you put yourself first, sometimes we can feel like that's you know, wrong because our entire lives we've been shaped to maybe serve other people before we serve ourselves. You know, sometimes in our family dynamics, it's important that, you know, you be there for us. You know, sometimes you can hear that language growing up. And so whatever your culture was or whatever your childhood, whatever kind of shaped you in your childhood, those notions and what you should do for other people and different things like that, what was spoken a lot, you know, you need to be here for us. It don't matter what's going on in your life. You need to be here for us, you know, different things like that. When you hear that over time, that shapes your perspective. So when you become an adult and you're like, you know what, I need to take care of me because, you know, I'm important. I love myself. And these are things I'm doing for me as an adult now. It's hard because then we begin to buck up against old perspectives and childhood things that we've gone through and what our parents taught us and what our family dynamics were. And there's nothing wrong with breaking free from what your parents told you. So you have to be intentional about saying, you know what, if I feel bad about showing up for myself or loving from within first, I have to get to the root of that. You know, I have to figure out why I feel that way. And so more than likely, it's something that was shaped in your childhood and how your dynamic was with your family. And so that's probably the first place you want to start. And so you got to kind of backtrack. And because I'm a counselor, so I'm trying not to be as counsel-y tonight and kind of go too far into all these other things. But that's where you want to start. You really want to start with, okay, what was my family's dynamic? What kind of culture did I grow up in? And why do I feel as if now as an adult, it's hard for me to love within first? I'm bucking up against something that's been planted as a seed in my life over and over and over again.
That's so true. And scripture says that love thy neighbor as yourself. So how can you love anyone before you love yourself? So are you loving that person? Because you're not even loving yourself.
Absolutely.
Any questions? We're opening it up for questions. One at a time, ladies. Slow down. Everyone don't talk at the same time. Do we have any questions? If you do, just say yes and I can unmute you one at a time. Okay, I have another question that was texted to me. How do I learn to love from within if all I see is failure on the outside?
Well, that's definitely something you would want to work through. And so I'm going to encourage with something like that. I'm going to encourage counseling. And so the reason why I encourage counseling is because it's a perspective that you have about yourself and you need someone to help you process through your failures. And so what I tell people all the time is that Failure is going to happen. It's going to happen no matter who you are. It's going to happen. It shapes us. It helps us. But it's not truly failure if you don't quit, okay? So if you're learning from it, that's not failure. If you're growing from it, if you're bouncing back, that's not failure. It's just a time that you stumbled, and it's a growth moment. And so anytime you do take a hit, anytime you do stumble, anytime you do, it doesn't turn out like you want to, it's a time to grow. I use that as a growth moment. I use that as a time to evolve, to learn something new about myself, to pivot, to challenge myself to do better in this area. And so if you feel like you see failure everywhere, you want to work through that. Why do I see failure everywhere? And that's why I go back to processing through your thoughts and your feelings. What makes me feel as if I'm a failure? What makes me feel as if I'm not good enough? And so sometimes, a lot of times, that has to deal with rejection. And so rejection, childhood rejection throughout your life, is going to produce a mentality of I'm not good enough, or I have to perform. And then when I don't meet this expectation, I feel like I failed. And so we have to be very careful with that, because what happens is we set these expectations that are so high that we can never meet. And then we let ourselves down, because it's like, I want it to be perfect, and perfect is not ever going to happen. It's impossible to meet perfection. And so when we try to put ourselves to that standard and we try to reach there, we're always going to fall short of perfect. You have to be able to give yourself room to not get it right. You have to give yourself room to have flaws, to have, shortcomings, to have moments of just not meeting the standard. It's okay. But I'm going to encourage you to get some counseling, because what I really do think the issue is rejection. It's rejection throughout your life, what you've seen, how people have responded to you, expectations that have been set either, once again, by parents throughout childhood, like mentors, people that you really looked up to and you weren't able to meet that standard, so you felt rejected. And so I encourage you to work through the rejection part of it, because more than likely it looks like there's failure all around you. But what's happening behind the scenes is that internally you're dealing with rejection.
Wow. I think you kind of called it right there. I think you definitely called it right there. Does anyone have any questions before we begin closing out? Oh, somebody's popping up in the chat. Let's see. How does pulling back from someone who is draining yourself look like in a respectful way?
You just have to have a conversation. We can't be afraid of healthy confrontation. And so sometimes hard conversations have to happen. So we have those hard truths with ourselves. We sometimes have to have those hard truths with others. And so you have to tell them, I don't feel this is healthy for me. And so right now I'm going to just take some time out for myself. Or you can also just put boundaries up. If people say you're acting different, why are you doing this now? You're not answering my phone calls anymore. And you can say simply, I'm taking some time out to take care of me. I'm taking some time out to get myself together. And right now, this is what it's going to be at the end of the day. And so you can't be afraid of being honest. You can't be afraid of setting those standards and those boundaries for yourself. And if people question it, simply in a kind way, let them know I'm taking care of myself right now. This is what I need in this season of my life, X, Y, Z. So it's not hard to do. It's just you have to have the courage to do it.
Yeah, so true. And for everyone who wasn't on the call last week, one thing that we did say last week is saying no to someone else is saying yes to you. And
Absolutely.
if you have the same person that continues to come to you and lean on you, at that point, you're playing God in their life, and you want them to be able to call on God and not call on you, right? Because then at that point, we're enabling them, and they know that, I can just call Marcia up. I can just ask her to do this or blah, 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 blah. Another thing that I started doing is, everyone needs that time to vent. People go through things and they need time to vent. So if you have a friend call you up and they just need to vent, you just tell them, look, I'm giving you 30 seconds, 60 seconds, however long to vent and to get it out. After that, we're no longer talking about this, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about setting those healthy boundaries and healthy limits, because you got to take care of yourself. Because when you don't take care of yourself, then your health starts to fade, right? You start having heart problems, and you're stressed. And then all of that leads to just obesity, heart attack, stroke, all of that, right?
Yeah.
Just always know that if you have to set those boundaries, just tell them, say, check my heart. Like, if they don't understand that you're coming from a good place and they can't respect that, that's not your problem. That's their problem.
Absolutely.
Leave it at that, because we know that we live in the world of, we can't make everyone happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so stop trying to make everyone happy and make yourself happy, because you deserve happiness. You deserve to be loved, which means you deserve to love yourself.
Mm-hmm. And then let me just add this, because I want to make sure that when we take care of ourselves, I don't want that to be an excuse for isolation and dysfunction. Okay. So if you deal with isolation, if you know you're doing it in an unhealthy way because you just don't want people to dig into you, you don't want people to hold you accountable, so you pull the card of, I'm taking care of myself. You know, like, you want to make sure that what you're doing is healthy, that you're not masking isolation and you're not masking dysfunction. Okay. So that's very important. We are going through a journey of self-love and self-care, but I'm not masking the fact that I'm really isolated, or I'm dealing with a dysfunctional part of myself that doesn't want to be held accountable or challenged to grow. So just want to make sure I put that note in there as well.
Any other questions, comments? No. Okay, you guys quiet. Remember what I always say, I already put the food away, so don't come in the next 5 seconds talking about you still hungry, okay? Wait, somebody. Okay, maybe no, that wasn't for it. Okay, wait. How do you take care of yourself mentally?
It's just different things that you can do when it comes to your mental health. So if you want to, journal, one thing that I'm big on is journaling, and journaling through just your thoughts, journaling through your day, journaling through your prayers, journaling through how you feel, journaling through what's bothering you, what's upsetting you, what's encouraging you, how your day went, writing down gratitude. That's a way to take care of yourself mentally. Exercising is also another way to take care of yourself mentally. It's very healthy for the mental, for your mindset and for your mind. Practicing gratitude, learning to see the good in things and not the negative. Listing out things that you're grateful for on a daily basis to combat negative thinking and negative thoughts. Just different things like that, having honest conversations with people, feeling safe in environments to be yourself, making sure that you allow people into your thought life and that you're not the only person in your brain. Sometimes you have to allow people to say that's not healthy, or this is healthy, or to challenge you. And so you can do different things like that. You can go for a walk if that gives you, that lifts some pressures for you mentally, whatever it is that helps to release the pressures of the mind and that helps bring in more positivity and remove the negativity. Different things like that will help you to build up your mental health and keep that in a sustainable place.
Well, yeah, all of those are very great. Thank you for sharing that. Someone says walks have been so helpful during this time. Yes, nature walks have been so amazing, especially during this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Raven, any final thoughts?
I'm just grateful to be able to be on here with you ladies. I truly hope that this helped and blessed you. I hope that from this that you're able to take some nuggets that's going to encourage you, that's going to help push you into your journey of self-love, push you into your journey of just taking care of yourself and self-care and self-awareness. I hope that you all, like I said, we're very encouraged. Make sure that you take care of you. Show up for yourself on a daily basis. Do what's necessary to put healthy boundaries in place for your life. And don't be afraid to have hard truths with yourself and with others. It's so important. So other than that, if you want to stay connected, you can follow me at Raven C Nole on Instagram. I would love to connect with each and every one of you to just hear more about your journey.
Yes. So can you put that in the chat, please? That way they could be able to see. Capture that. So ladies, I want to thank you all again for coming on tonight for our talk. Woo, really good talk. I don't know about y'all, but I took my notes. All my notes are right here. So I hope you all took notes. And don't worry, I will send you an email with the notes as well. So you And if you're not on my email list, please put your email in the chat. You can send it to me privately if you don't want everybody to know your business. That's completely fine. Because next week we will have a panel discussion about self-care. And I'm so excited about that. Yes. And if we can go ahead and talk about the scripture of the week. So this is a scripture that I want you all to meditate on. And Raven had already discussed it, but it's Psalms 139, verse 14. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. So I want you ladies to remember that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and God loves you. Yes, each one of you. He loves you just as you are. You don't have to change anything about yourself because he made you in his image. So please meditate on that scripture today. Please meditate on all the nuggets because Raven, you gave it to us tonight. I mean, I'm surprised I still got some edges up in here.
I'm grateful. I think
you done gave me a perm or something because they look a little shitty. What y'all think? He gave it to us. So ladies, I want to thank you guys for coming on. Please come back next week, Thursday at 8:30, same time, same place. I'll be here. And Raven, we would love to have you on in the future if possible.
Absolutely.
It was great. You had a lot of great information to share. So ladies, if you can please just join me in prayer. Does anyone have any prayer requests? If you don't want to share, that's completely fine. I'm still going to lift you up. Yes, I see somebody saying yes. Okay, great. And so if you can just bow your heads and open your hearts. Yes, I got it. I'm seeing you guys' prayer requests. You guys are, yes, okay. Heavenly Father, oh God, we come to you tonight, oh God. We come to you with grateful hearts, oh God, unworthy of your love, oh God. Oh God, we just want to thank you for giving us another opportunity to walk this earth, oh God. Oh God, we just want to thank you for having this opportunity to come on this call and to learn more about self-love, God, and self-care, oh God. Oh God, we just come to you tonight, oh God. We just come to you to ask you for your grace and your mercy, oh God, for your everlasting love, oh God. I just lift every woman up on this talk, oh God, and I just lift and thankful for your daughter Raven for joining us and just providing us with all of these tools and strategies, oh God. Oh God, as if we continue to do this walk journey with you, God, may we be able to just remember, oh God, just remember what you said about us, oh God, that you created us, oh God, that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, oh God, that we were created in your image, oh God, that we were created for a purpose, oh God, and that we are loved and that we are unique, oh God, and nothing can stand against what you have for us, oh God, that no matter what we think about ourselves, oh God, or what other people said about us, oh God, the only thing that matters is what you say about us, oh God. Oh God, may we continue to lean on your word, oh God, to continue to lean on your strength, oh God, to continue to lean on your promises, oh God, because you are a miracle worker, a promise keeper, and a light in our darkness, oh God. Oh God, I come against any attack that the enemy may have on anybody on this call tonight, on them or their family, oh God. I ask that you remove the enemy's grip, oh God. Let them know that whatever he's trying to do, oh God, that you're standing in the way, oh God, and we remove it, oh God. We remove any attack, oh God, any plot, oh God, any scheme that the enemy may have on anyone in this on this talk, oh God. Oh God, you said that when two or more are gathered in your name, that you will be in the mix, oh God. You said when two on earth agree on anything, that the Father in heaven will make it happen, oh God. So we're coming to you tonight, oh God, and we believing in you, oh God, and we just coming against all strongholds, oh God. We're coming against all generational curses, oh God. We're coming against any mindset, oh God, any thoughts, oh God, that make us believe that we're not worthy, oh God, that we're not worthy of love, oh God, that we're not worthy of loving ourselves, oh God, that we're not worthy of you loving us, or that we're not worthy of true love, oh God. We're coming against all those thoughts. We ask that you remove them in the name of Jesus, oh God. We ask that you just take them away, oh God. Oh God, you said that who the Son set free is truly free indeed, oh God. And I say that all of these women of this talk is free of any negative thoughts, oh God, any feelings of unworthiness, oh God. Oh God, teach us to love ourselves, oh God, the way that you love us, oh God. Oh God, continue to teach us to set healthy boundaries, oh God. Continue to teach us how to take time for ourselves, oh God, to build positive, uplifting relationships, oh God. Oh God, continue to help us to not play God in other people's lives, oh God, but for us to be able to lift people up to you and for you to take over, oh God. Anything that's not serving us anymore, oh God, continue to allow us to keep moving forward, oh God. Because when you close that door, oh God, give us the discernment to not be able to open that door again, oh God. Oh God, allow us to not turn seasons into lifetimes, oh God, and lifetime into seasons, oh God. Allow us to be able to hear your voice and your voice only, oh God. Remove all distractions, oh God, so we can hear you so clearly, oh God. It's so loud that we know that it's you and it's only you, oh God. I ask that you continue to extend our reach and enlarge our territory, oh God. Oh God, we know that we're coming against something tough, oh God, because every day we wake up a child of God, oh God. The enemy is right there ready to fight us, oh God, to take us down, oh God, but we're ready for the enemy, oh God. We got our boxing gloves on and our running shoes on, oh God, and we tell him to bring it, oh God, because my God is bigger than anything, oh God. You're the same God right now that you were back then, oh God, that you are God of miracles, oh God. You're the God who make everything possible, oh God. We just lean on you. We lean on your strength. I ask that you cover these ladies in the blood of Jesus, oh God. I ask you for protection, oh God. I want to lift everybody out there on the front line of this COVID-19, oh God. I ask that you cover them, oh God. I ask that you continue to give them the strength, oh God, to keep fighting and take care of people, oh God. I pray for those who have family members who passed from COVID-19. I pray for those who are fighting from COVID-19, oh God. I just ask that you just lift them up and you take care of them and you are heal them, oh God. Oh God, we understand that everything happens for a reason and everything happens within your plan, oh God. And we trust you and we believe in you. In the name of your son, Jesus, oh God, we ask, we seek, we pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you, ladies, for joining in. I hope to see all of you all, plus more, next week. So make sure that you invite at least 3 people. You guys have a great night. I love you guys, and so does God.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Raven. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.